Welcome to the Dragon Ball Access Podcast with SmugStick and Dragon Ball University.
Hey, hello, this is Luis from SmugStick.
And I'm Josh from Dragon Ball University, and today we're going to be talking about Broly. So, there's a new Broly movie coming. What do we think about it? What do we think about the potential rumors of a certain somebody existing in the movie from some data mining that may or may not have happened? There we go. What do we think? Luis, how are you excited for the new Broly, or are you looking forward to it, or are you scared of it, or both?
I am very much looking forward to Broly. I think I'm more excited about the prospect of having new art direction as far as Dragon Ball goes than Broly coming back more than anything else. But overall, I've been very excited for the movie since it was announced.
I didn't think I was in the first couple of days that it started to swirl and rumor and like this might be what's happening. I was like, please no, no. And now that it is happening, I'm ready. I mean, I gotta be honest, I've never been a fan of Broly. I've always found him to be really kind of overrated. And I mean, I liked him from the design standpoint and that he brought something new to the Super Saiyan, but that was it. His motivation was awful. His dialogue was awful. So I'm very excited for a new take on him because I feel like this is going to take just the elements of what I did like of Broly growing up and hopefully enhance it. And hey, he's part of the actual story now, so let's just give him a hug.
Yeah, I agree. I especially like the new design that they're giving him. I think it's a great update to design that's frankly we've just seen so much of him in video games and all that stuff that I think design update was in order.
Absolutely. And I gotta admit, it seems like it has just enough of the old Broly. Like they didn't want to throw everything out, like the fur he's wearing around. I mean, I don't think he ever really wore a fur before, but there's something about him that seems familiar. But at the same time, one of my favorite things is the update to the fact that he's now wearing Frieza Force armor. I don't know why, but there's something about Broly looking like a Saiyan that just really makes me excited.
Yeah, it looks really cool, and it's even cooler that they're keeping the green color that he's so familiar with.
Yeah, and his energy too. He even seems like in the shot of him powering up in the fight against Goku, it really seems like they're kind of keeping his ki similar to what it used to be. And that was another thing that I did like about him. I couldn't for the life of me tell you why, but I really enjoyed like the green circular look to Broly powering up.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing, especially in like Raging Blast where you could equip I think you could equip the aura to other characters or something like that.
Yes, yep, and you could power up like him.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing.
Have a little like collapsing green hue around you.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that, I mean, I'm far from the only person to have noticed it, but his armor seems new. Like, it reminds me, I want to say Tagoma had armor like that, but there was one of Sorbet's Force members had that armor for sure, and I honestly don't remember his name. I'm sad, but kind of red, devilly looking dude that Piccolo beat.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. How the... Is that the one where the shoulder pads aren't like complete, you know?
Yeah, they're kind of stubby, and if I'm not mistaken, they're kind of a uniform color, like they don't look like a separate piece from the chest.
Yeah.
And then the chest just has like there's like a middle part, almost like Frieza's, like honestly kind of reminiscent of Frieza's final form, like just a little one little thing in the middle there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think it looks really cool. I'm also looking forward to seeing Paragus, who I didn't expect to be brought back for the film.
I gotta say, I kind of like his new look. He's much older than I expected, and that's making me wonder if Broly's going to be a lot older than we're used to as well. Because I really think one thing that's gotta go, I mean, his original motivation has to go, but the fact that he and Goku were born on the same day, that can kind of get the axe too, and I really wouldn't shed a tear. So I'm wondering, like, what if Broly's more like Vegeta's age than Goku's? Because the Saiyans don't really age for quite a while, so for Paragus to look like that, he's got to be up there.
Yeah, for sure. We did see flashbacks to Planet Vegeta, or at least what looks like Planet Vegeta, and it seems like we
Yeah.
do get snippets of two Saiyans. One of them I think looked like Paragus, and the other is, I don't know. It looks kind of like Kaba, but it obviously isn't.
It does look like Kaba with like a weird different animation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He kind of has a tall Kaba look to him. Honestly, it very well could be young Broly. And I'm almost wondering too, what if that's the last day of Planet Vegeta and Broly's that much older? Like what if he's like 12, 13 years older than Vegeta even?
Just that
I mean,
change
it's
would be
possible.
super
I really
interesting.
don't know. Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do differently. And honestly, the one thing about him having newer style Frieza Force armor is it really seems like Frieza recruited him and it went wrong. Like he's showing up on Earth with soldiers and a ship that looks very much like something Frieza would steer or tell somebody else to steer rather. And he's got a newer style armor. Like I'm wondering if maybe Frieza is kind of doing his research or having somebody do their research. Like they have to have some kind of log as to when pods were launched out. Like you'd think if they were keeping that tight, like if they were keeping that hard on all of their soldiers, they would know exactly when a pod. I mean, even in Bardock, the father of Goku, they had like referenced that a pod had only gone out a few minutes ago, and when certain ones were due for departure. So maybe Frieza had the ability to be like, there's got to be more Saiyans. Like there's no way Raditz, Nappa, Kakarot, and Vegeta were the only ones that left before this place was destroyed. Like, and then maybe they hunt him down and find a barbaric version of the two of them and go, hey, here's some armor. Come take out Goku and Vegeta for us.
Yeah, that would be really
and
cool.
Then when they get there, he's like, you know what? Screw you. And then he fights Frieza too.
Mm-hmm. One thing I really hope they don't do is do the little, oh no, I knew he was here all along. I actually had him hidden or I just never told you about him.
Yeah.
I think that would be super lame.
Yeah, it's got to be kind of unknown to everyone. And it seems like they're ditching the legendary Super Saiyan aspect of it either. He's just a new kind of Super Saiyan. Or I guess at this point, similar to Kale, which it'd be nice if they reference that as well.
That would be really cool. I'm pretty sure that in the new Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 update, when you choose Kefla and you fight Broly, they do have some unique dialogue together. So I assume that there will be something brought up.
Awesome. Oh, I guess on that note, there was apparently some data mining done because the new DLC dropped today with Kefla and Super Baby. And apparently it seems to look like, I've done very little research so far, but it seems like the next DLC characters are going to be the new version of Broly from Dragon Ball Super and apparently Gogeta. And so that's getting a lot of people, honestly myself included, to think that Gogeta is going to make an appearance. And I was actually working on a video about why it makes no sense for Gogeta, so I guess I can just stop that one now and get on to something else.
Well,
I don't know.
Man, it's pretty crazy. I mean, Gogeta is, besides Broly, probably the face of Dragon Ball movies. You know, so I think it makes sense if they are going to bring somebody back.
Which is weird because he had such a small appearance.
Sorry?
It was weird because he had such a small appearance.
Yeah, exactly. But
Gogeta accounts for like 30 seconds of Dragon Ball Z movies, and he's really one of the big representations of it.
Yeah, I mean, he makes a huge impact when he's on screen.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about this, honestly. What do you think?
I mean, I accept it slightly less than Broly, more because Broly can be a clean slate. They can take the best parts of what made him before and make them better and make him canon. And they can do the same thing with Gogeta. I just feel like with Gogeta it makes a little bit less sense. Like we're really at a point where Goku has instant transmission, and that's not supposed to take any time. If he knows where he's going and he can lock in on a signal, he can just boom, he's there. And he's friends with pretty much every Kai, now even friendly. I mean, he's friendly pretty much all the way up to the top of the gods, and Kai's from multiple universes. So it just seems like it'd be a lot easier to say, oh, give me just a second, and zip out, grab a pair of earrings, and come back and become Vegito and fuse for a full hour than to teach Vegeta a dance that he has not learned yet because Fusion Reborn didn't happen. And why Fusion Reborn can't happen coming in 3 years. But yeah, so I want to see Gogeta. I do. Gotenks is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. I love the Metamories fusion technique. It just doesn't make all that much sense to me. Although it really, all signs are really starting to point to it, not even including the data mining.
Yeah, they've been putting a lot of attention into Gogeta, but I don't know. I feel like all the characters are in such a different place from where they were when Fusion Reborn, quote unquote, happened, that I don't know how they could do this in a satisfactory way. For example, Vegeta is definitely not the same character he was back then. Somebody who opposed completely something as silly as a fusion dance. Gogeta has danced to bingo now. He's stayed home for the baby. He's done so many different things that I don't think it can be done in the same way it was done in the movie.
No. I mean, he would be... Yeah, he very well could be a more willing candidate. And Vegeta is a genius, just like Goku when it comes to combat. So really, I don't have any disbelief that Vegeta couldn't watch Goku do that two to three times. Like, if they managed to get Broly knocked into some rocks for just long enough to watch him, it doesn't take all that long to do the technique. And I do think he could watch Goku and get it. He's smart enough to figure that out. Do you want to see a repeat of the Veku situation? the fat Gogeta? Like,
I would love that.
Do you want to see anything like that?
That was so funny. So, I mean, I'd be down. And if Frieza played the part of Paikuhan,
and he gets his head double punched, right, as they finally pull the fusion.
Yeah.
See, I'm okay with them doing that. I don't know if I'd want them to go the other route and make them old or what, because I want them to find that fine line between homage and just doing the same scene again.
Yeah, for sure. And if we do get Gogeta, I feel like we're going to expect, as a fan community, we're going to expect more than just 30 seconds like in the original movie.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't want to see them mess up because of not knowing how to do the technique, or at least I don't want to see Vegeta mess up because he's learning it. I want him to nail it first try and either have it be Goku who somehow manages to screw it up, or maybe even something like Broly starts powering up and the rocks shift under their feet and their fingers don't line up or something like that.
That would be really cool.
Like an accident in order to make them not Gogeta right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see far more, if we're getting him, like, 'cause one of the other things that makes me think maybe, and I'm not the only one, I've seen this bouncing around on Twitter as well, but there's 3 Dragon Ball Z theatrical releases coming before Dragon Ball Super Broly does. And those movies are Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, and then a double feature of Bardock the Father of Goku and Fusion Reborn.
Yep.
So it really seems like, and it looks like, according to the trailer, we're getting some Dragon Ball Minus, so we're probably going to see Bardock in this movie in some capacity. It seems like they've been spelling it out, like, we're giving you Bardock, we're giving you Gogeta, we're giving you Broly, and then all of a sudden, we've just announced the new Broly movie in which we are giving you Bardock, we are giving you Gogeta, and we are giving you Broly.
Yeah, it seems pretty clean cut to me, and it's weird that they're doing it in the United States, because that's where the movies are going to be showing.
Yeah.
It's just... But the same thing with Xenoverse, you know? It feels like a lot of this stuff is by accident, and we're not meant to notice at all.
Yeah. Like, I found out about Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. That was because of Xenoverse 2.
Yeah.
Not even when it was released, but the first shots of, like, the new DLC character, all of a sudden I'm like, I haven't seen Goku look like that yet. And then, sure enough, Mastered Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm looking forward to a Super Saiyan Blue or Ultra Instinct Gogeta in Xenoverse. That could be a lot of fun. And I'm okay with Gogeta joining this Broly movie. Just please give us a good reason why it's not Vegito. I'm ready to have them both be canon. I'm okay with that. But now that they've retconned the Potara and that fusion only lasts for an hour, in what way is that not superior to them becoming Gogeta? So we need a good reason why they can't be Vegito for this to work.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just thinking about the characters that have been revealed for the movie yet. You know, you got your normal ones like Piccolo and Bulma and Goku, Vegeta, all that stuff, but we also got Goten and Trunks. So what I'm really hoping is that we get Gotenks and Gogeta, if anything, because that would be awesome.
Oh, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Gotenks teaches them to do it, or something. I don't even. Or some dialogue between them, like this is finally I get to know the answer to the question: would Gotenks call Gogeta Dad?
Yeah, that was a question brought up actually in Fighters. There's a whole cutscene about that. It's really funny.
Was that in the story mode that I still haven't finished?
It's an optional cutscene in the story mode. Yeah.
Okay. I have Fighters, and I've had it since midnight on launch, but now I'm at a point that I'm stubbornly waiting for the Switch release, and I've already bought half of the DLC characters, but I know that I'm going to buy them on the Switch again, so I don't want to redo it.
I'm the other way around.
Although, this is completely off the topic of Broly, but I did see Bandai Namco say today, well, they'd already announced Cooler, but that Cooler and one more fighter would be coming at the end of September. And I feel like they're going to coincide that with the Switch release, because that's at the end of September as well. So it'd be nice if the day it comes out for Switch, you can buy all 8 characters.
That would be a treat, because I can't wait for the Switch release.
I'm quite excited. Mm-hmm. Although, I gotta admit, after this new Xenoverse release, I'm going to be sinking plenty of hours into that between now and then.
Yeah.
I haven't even begun to really see the depths of the character rebalancing yet. Or not, I'm sorry, not the character rebalancing, but the skill rebalancing. There's like 131 skills that have been retweaked.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I've seen some of them in action, but I don't know a lot of the figures yet or what it really is.
What I'm really excited about is the different character creators that created characters that you can choose now, rather than just your main one.
Yes, that's honestly my favorite part of it so far. Like, I don't actually have the paid DLC. I won't have Kefla and Baby until tonight. But I got up very, very early this morning because I have an 8-week-old daughter. So I got up about 4:00 this morning, and the update was ready on the Switch. So I got to check that out, and it's just so much fun to be doing parallel quests with 3 characters that I've made now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, for me, for single player, it's a game changer for me. It like we were talking about in actually our last episode about the immersion in video games, this just increases that for me that much more. Like, now I don't have to go it alone, nor do I have to be like, which characters does it make sense for me to bring along on this mission? And then only to find out that there's already a CPU. Like, I picked Goku, but there's a CPU Goku, so now I have 2 Gokus. Like, now I can... Oh, it's so fun. I have a Saiyan, a Namekian, and a human character, all of which that I've made, and to see like, I've been playing these characters for a while. Like, a lot of them I remade from my Xenoverse 1 game. So these are characters I've been familiar with since the release of the series, and to see them working together, it just melts my heart. So... getting back to the task at hand, which is Broly, what are some of your thoughts on the original Broly trilogy?
Well, I was never really a big fan, and I actually have probably some weird opinions compared to most people out there. I'm
excited to hear.
The first Broly movie, I never really enjoyed much. I always thought it was kind of boring. But the second Broly movie, I thought it was one of the most fun Dragon Ball movies I've ever watched. Simply because of Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Videl, who I don't think ever get enough love in these movies. And I thought it was great.
It's somehow much more lighthearted than the first Broly, and it kind of works.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the fight in the lava between Broly and Gohan, and then Krillin saving him, that whole sequence is so delightful to me.
Yeah, isn't that where Krillin saves him wearing Piccolo's clothes?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay. Yes, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I did like it in the family Kamehameha. There were aspects of it I really liked. One of my favorite parts was more just a small design detail than anything. But in the first Broly, we never got to see him as a traditional looking base Super Saiyan, and we did get to see that in Second Coming.
Broly's hair is actually yellow in the second one, as opposed to greenish in the first film.
Yeah, exactly. And he had almost like a weird blue look before he went into his legendary form.
Yeah.
Like he had like a purpley blue hair, and he had a traditional Super Saiyan look, and I enjoyed that. And I think Tenkaichi 3 it was gave him that as an alternate outfit.
Yeah, they did. It was really cool. I was actually wondering if they would do something like that for the new film, but I thought it would be weird since now there's an actual Super Saiyan Blue. So, but
yeah,
thankfully they didn't, and they stuck with a traditional Super Saiyan instead.
Yeah, and I like that he has both. I like that he seems to have a base Super Saiyan form, and I know it's not legendary, but what is it, Berserk form now?
I think that's what they call Chaos, yeah. And
now what about Bio Broly?
Bio Broly, that's the big one. Well, the disliked one. That's the one nobody likes. Although I've seen on Twitter that a lot of people lately have been checking it out, and a lot of people seem to like it, which is great. I don't like it very much. I like Krillin in that movie, but that's it.
Yeah. It again, much like the second Broly, it has some things going for it, just less. And yeah, it's I don't know. They're all going to be pretty well wiped from, like, all of the movies don't really fit, but this is kind of taking a broom and shoving those three out just a little further. Just go away, you. They're these never existed. Don't look at them. There are now 10 Dragon Ball movies. Or Dragon Ball Z, I'm sorry.
What do you think of the first two and the first three Broly movies?
Visually, I like the first one. There is a part of me that can't really let go. Like, Broly was so hyped. Like, it was that thing I was waiting for. And keep in mind, too, I mean, I know I'm sorry, everyone, but I did really grow up watching the dub. And so that has always kind of had a special place in my heart. But mostly, I didn't have any kind of a nice computer 18 years ago is when I started watching it. So about 15 years ago is when I was in my prime of watching DBZ. And I didn't have really any means to watch the Japanese version. So I was waiting for a lot of things to get their Funimation release. That's how I grew up with Dragon Ball. And it wasn't until much later that I was able to really watch the sub all the way through. And so for me, it was this... Broly was this character I knew about. That's all I knew was he was big, he was cool looking, and he was the legendary Super Saiyan, and there were some pixely JPEGs floating around on, Ask Jeeves back then? Like, Google wasn't even a thing. So there was a part of me that was always waiting for Broly. It was the longest movie to date. Like, really, it was the longest movie until Battle of Gods. So there's a part of me that I guess just can't let go of that, but I very much agree with you that it's boring. Like, for as long as it is, it didn't have to be. They could have summed that up so much faster, especially given the fact that Broly's motivation was hot garbage. So, I don't know. Visually, I like it. There's something iconic about a Super Saiyan Battle Royale for the first time, but that's about it. And Second Coming, I think I very much agree with you on the fact that it's fun. I just guess the fun didn't work as consistently for me as I think it did for you. Mm-hmm. But the parts that I liked, I did like. And again, the Super Saiyan design, that they dialed back to a regular Super Saiyan, I wish they had done that in the original. I almost wonder if they didn't to keep the reveal. Like, it gave him a transformation while he wasn't a Super Saiyan in the first movie, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. What about Bio Broly?
Bio Broly. Bio Broly, another thing about growing up primarily watching the dub was most of the sub for me was told in rumors until I actually got to see it. It was all whispers at school about things that were going to happen because people checked like Japanese sites of episode guides and got descriptions, and they were able to like, oh dude, Trunks is gonna die today. Like I remember in the Cell games, like going to school and hearing Trunks is gonna die today. I'm like, no, he's not. And then I'm like, Cell's all but beaten. He's back in his second form. And then Cell comes back and he blasts Trunks through the chest, and I had to apologize to people at school the next day. So everything was whispers and rumors based on translations. One of the many rumors that I heard was that in Bio Broly, Krillin went superhuman.
What?
And yes. And it was the most ridiculous translation. All it was is if you look at the end when Bio Broly is a big watery pile of goop coming out of the lake right before Krillin, Goten, and Trunks finish them off.
Are you talking about the aura?
For whatever reason. Yes. Yeah. That's what it was. Krillin having a yellow aura spawned this rumor for like a decade and a half ago, spawned rumors among high schools that Krillin was going to go superhuman in this movie. And then when I finally saw it, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. I'd like to do a whole episode on that at some point. Like just the rumors that I heard as a 15-year-old into DBZ.
I think I remember hearing that rumor too.
Turned out to be nothing. So many. There are so many. And in some ways, it's not always just rumors. A lot of it, like, I kind of blame video games for that on occasion too. Like, this might be something that people don't like to hear, and frankly, I don't like to say it, but like, what makes the Big Bang Attack one of Vegeta's signature moves? Like, why is it one of his go-tos in every video game? And don't get me wrong, the Big Bang Attack and the Final Flash, they're incredible and amazing techniques. The Gallic Gun as well. But how many times has he actually done them that we've seen?
Well, now in Super, he's done them like 1 billion times.
Yeah, that's true. But again, you can almost blame that on the same thing. Like in between Dragon Ball Z's ending and Super's beginning, there were 8 million video games that were like, give him the Big Bang and the Final Flash. Give Trunks the future kick.
Mm-hmm. Because like, I remember like in Budokai 3, doing the Big Bang Attack with Vegeta was the hypest thing. But in the show, it's just like this whatever thing.
Yeah, he just did it to Android 19's back. And it was awesome. But who did he do it to? He did it to Android 19, and he did it to Cooler.
Yeah.
Metal Cooler. Like, that's it. The Final Flash, he did it to Cell, and maybe he did it in the fight against Goku when he was under Babidi's control, but I don't think so. Yeah. That very well could be a dub thing that I remember.
Yeah, I don't recall either.
But yeah, so I'm not trying to knock on that. And again, this is supposed to be about Broly, and I'm ruining everything. Let's just have a couple of unfiltered episodes where we just ramble about Dragon Ball.
I would love that, just talking about it.
Well, anything else on the Broly subject for you?
I think we should just real quick talk about what we want from the movie.
Okay, yeah. What do you want?
Okay.
Haha.
Well, in the movie, I just really wanted to look good, first of all, because I think with Dragon Ball Super, we didn't have that a lot, so for Dragon Ball to look good again would be really cool. But besides that, I really want some classic Toriyama humor like we had in Battle of Gods, which is still my favorite Dragon Ball movie. Especially with Broly, I think there could be some really cool stuff to do there, especially since we're expecting so much from the character. And backstory from the Saiyans would be really cool, even though I think we have enough of that. I don't think we've scratched the surface of it even. I think there's still a lot we could go into.
I agree. I want another Battle of Gods. I don't want another Resurrection F.
Yeah.
Resurrection F was okay, but Battle of Gods was the perfect mix. Like, if I were going to ever try to introduce somebody to Dragon Ball for the first time at this point in the game, I would probably start them with the uncut version of Battle of Gods that has the tiny little Dragon Ball recap in the beginning. Because it's just got the right mix of action and humor and what makes Dragon Ball Dragon Ball. And there's a lot of character overlap in that movie, so people can be like, who's that? And you just write it down the whole time. You're like, every time you ask me who that is, I'll write it down, and then we'll have an 8-hour discussion when this movie's over. Check out SmugStick and Dragon Ball University, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
But okay, I do have one, I guess along the lines of the expectation question with Broly. Do you want Broly to survive this film?
No. I don't.
I don't either. I'm hoping they don't make him likable. I don't want by an hour and a half in, I'm like, no, Broly, he's just misunderstood. Like, I don't want that. Make him a dick and kill him.
Yeah. I think we haven't had a villain in Dragon Ball that's actually just evil in a long time. And I think it would be cool to... Well, not evil, but just like a monster. And I think Broly fits that bill, even though I don't like him. I think he's the perfect candidate for this.
Or maybe that would make it like maybe he would be a sad defeat. Like he's somebody that's gotta go, but that could be the level that we feel for him by the end of the movie. Not even that he's a good guy, just that he cannot control his power.
That'd be cool.
Like once the restraint is off, that's it. He just cannot be stopped.
Yeah, kind of like the Hulk.
Until he is stopped. Yeah, if the Hulk went Super Saiyan.
That would be a really cool place to move the character to.
Yeah. Like it would like if he was unfortunately a necessary defeat. Like I wouldn't mind seeing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That he's not that bad a guy, but once he goes, he just can't get that energy under control.
Yeah.
And he's gonna wipe out everything if you don't stop him.
The only thing I don't want is him to become good and join the heroes. That's what I do not want.
Oh no. No. I don't even want him to be like the only scenario he can become good for me is if he's not good, if he like rips Frieza's head off and then sits upon the throne and takes over the Frieza force and is one of those like he's still an evil dick, but he just kind of tips his cap to Goku and Vegeta when he passes by Earth, like, all right, you guys are good. I'm gonna go wipe out everything else. Like that's the only scenario like that I would want him to survive. He cannot be a good guy.
I would be down.
No good Broly. Hashtag no good.
No good
Broly. Broly no good. No good Broly.
I think we've covered everything.
I don't have anything else. Yeah, I think that's all the Broly I can talk about.
Yeah.
I've said it so many times. It's starting to sound weird. So I have to go flush and not say Broly for a few days.
Yeah, and then it takes a lot out of me to talk about him.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for listening to the rambling. I feel like there was a lot more of that this time than the last one, but we'll nail it down. We'll get concise. This was really a last-minute topic that happened today.
Yeah, but I thought it was a lot of fun, really, and since it's topical, it was interesting to actually get fresh thoughts.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, just like on the spot, have to think about it all. And I mean, if nothing else, I don't mind the rambling because I like the discussion that comes out of all of this.
Me too. It's a lot of fun.
I learn new things about Dragon Ball every time. But anyway, we'll see you next week at noon.
See you guys.
Bye.